What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look at the promo pack for the Digimon trading card game. Now, this has been shown off pretty much all over it. It's been doing the rounds, but the lovely folks over at Digimon World have gone and provided a translation, and I've put that together with what I can find out on Google Translate, etc., and come up with what looks like a decent little go at making a translation here. I'm not 100% on all the translations, but I think we can give it a pretty gosh darn good go. Now, a couple of caveats before we get going that are extremely important. We don't know everything about this game. We don't actually know the full rules. We've not seen that many cards. So although it's fun to sit and analyze the cards, we do need to do a little bit of a pinch of salt, I think is fair to say. Now, this promo pack is going to be given out, it looks like, in a few different ways. According to Digimon World, if you buy 5 packs of the Digimon X Battle Spirits TCG, you are going to get a pack of these. It is also being given out when you buy some new toy over in Japan. And there are a couple of import sites that have got that for sale. So you buy the toy, which is not cheap. It's like 60, 70 quid. But then you get one of these promo packs as well. I've also read about it being given out at promotional events around the release of the game, but I've not seen anything about that specifically. And the promo pack contains the exact same 6 cards, no matter whether you get it for buying some other booster packs or for buying this toy, or you go to an event and get it. No matter where you go, you'll get the exact same cards. Question is, are they any good? Now, there is one exception here. We do actually have one card, Tailone, I believe, who is actually a level 4 card. The other 5 are all level 3s, which means we can get a bit of a comparison going. And these are fun. So starting off then, we've got 2 red, 2 blue and 2 yellow cards. One of the red ones we've got here is an Agyeman. A 5 cost to play normally, 0 cost to evolve. So if you evolve it from a Digitama, you don't have to pay. But to play it straight on its own would be a 5 cost, which is expensive compared to the other ones we're seeing here. It's a 3,000 power creature, which is slightly above average. And what we see here is a non-inheritable skill. When you play it, you destroy one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 power or less, which would count for any of the level 3s we're seeing here. It seems to be that this is a pretty good attack for destroying any level 3 or lower Digimon. Well, lower than that's really Digitama. But if we have a look at some of the level 3s we saw the other day, like the other Agyeman, that would go down quite handily. So it seems like this is going to be pretty good. There's a Goemon that was shown off, which again, 2,000 power level 3 Digimon, so that's going to be going down. So it really does seem like this is a very good option for getting rid of essentially level 3 Digimon. If you evolve it, it's great, because it's free. If you don't evolve it, then it's quite expensive and it doesn't have an inheritable skill. I'll leave that one up to you. Your alternative in terms of a red level 3 is Patamon. Now, Patamon is a 2,000 power creature, so we're talking a bit weaker here. It is a free cost, though, to play normally, which is a fair bit cheaper. And again, it's free if you evolve it. And during your turn, now this is an inheritable skill. When this Digimon destroys an opponent's Digimon by battle, you draw 1 card from your deck. Now, there is actually a particular keyword. I'm going to call it draw 1. I don't know if that is the actual keyword, but it's a keyword which is going to be used in other cards, which basically says you draw 1 card. But it's an inheritable skill. So essentially, from the moment you evolve up into Patamon here, even as you go up evolving and you get into bigger and bigger Digimon, anytime you destroy a Digimon with this one, you are going to be able to draw a card. And a general rule, right, it doesn't matter what card game you're playing, whether on this channel, Keyforge, Transformers, Marvel Champions, Final Fantasy, it doesn't matter. whatever game you're playing, drawing extra cards is also good. More resources, more options. This is nice. Bit less powerful, and it doesn't have the real ha 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 I've taken you down in one hit of the Agyeman, but the inheritable skill is really nice draw power going through the game, and it is cheaper to play on its own, so there we go. Now moving into the blue ones here, we do have ourselves a Goemon, which is 4 cost to play normally, 0 cost to evolve, and 3,000 power. So right in the middle of the 2 red ones we looked at. There's no inheritable skill, so when you evolve up, it's not really bringing anything to the table, but it does have a non-inheritable skill. On entry, you remove 1 evolution source from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. So you're not getting rid of the Digimon, what you're getting rid of is the bottom evolution, it seems to be. We've obviously got all these inheritable skills, so if your opponent's used a Patamon, for instance, and that's the bottom evolution, you can take it away and get rid of their draw engine. Whereas if your opponent's used an Agyeman, you can get rid of it, but there's no real incentive. Now, there is, of course, other things going on, because we looked at a card the other day, the really big powerful one, Goemon, which said for every 2 evolution sources this Digimon has, it gets security attack +1. So if you take it down from, say, 4 evolution sources to 3, instead of having 2 extra security attacks, I have done a, well, as far as we know about the rules video, I'll pop a link in the description that explains about security attacks and all of that. But essentially, you can be getting rid of certain skills here that are dependent on the number of evolution sources Digimon have. Again, we've not seen many cards, but we've already seen examples of, oh yeah, the more evolution sources you've got, the better. Clearly, that's going to be a mechanic that goes through a bunch of cards in the game. So even if you're not getting rid of an inheritable skill, you're still going to be potentially hurting your opponent. And if you can turn off a skill while also getting rid of an inheritable skill, that's gonna be kind of fun. Now, the other blue one we've got here is Goemon. Apologies for the pronunciations, me and Digimon. I've got a lot of love for Digimon, but I'm not the expert I am for, let's say, some other properties. We've got 1,000 power, which is tiny, but it is at least free to play normally. All of these so far have been free to evolve, this one included. Having said that, it's the same cost as Patamon, but with half the power. But it does have an inheritable skill. Does that make it worth it? Once during your turn, when your opponent's Digimon's evolution source is removed, you get +1 memory. So here it really comes down to how you're building your deck. Now, it seems to be, again, we're reading between the lines here because it's all we've got. If there are multiple ways to get rid of evolution sources, and you can do it a lot, you're getting more memory. Remember, the memory gauge is basically your resources for the game, for playing all your cards. The more memory you've got, the better. My inkling with this card is that I'm not a gigantic fan, because it's very weak power-wise, and if you're not removing evolution sources a lot, it's probably not going to end up being particularly useful. I don't know. This one doesn't strike me as fun as the others. Put it that way. Moving into yellow, we've got Patamon, a 4 cost to play normally, 0 evolution, 2,000 power. So again, we got a direct comparison here to Goemon, except you've got 1 less power. And there's no inheritable skill. It is just a normal non-inheritable skill. When your security becomes 1 or less, recovery 1. That is to say, you place 1 card from the top of your deck on top of your security. Now, this is a skill that really, really excites me here, because we've seen that some cards have security skills. One of the ones that's piqued my interest, and I know I'm not the only one here, is Gaia Force. Gaia Force is an 8 cost card that when you play it, destroys one of your opponent's Digimon. And it's got a security skill, i.e. when you draw it as a security card, which lets you activate this, but instead of paying 8, you pay nothing. So now, if there is ever a way to manipulate the top of your deck, and most games end up with a mechanic like that eventually, you can potentially get this on top of your deck, and then Recovery 1. And Recovery 1 is a keyword, which means that it's expected to be used on a number of cards, like we saw from the draw where we didn't quite figure out the keyword. Which means that there are going to be ways to recover, and I did call this out in my previous video, that I was convinced there would be mechanics whereby you could put security cards out rather than just having them taken away. So this one really opens up opportunities for the future. And as a side note here, right, okay, it's got to be your security becomes 1 or less. Now the wording here, and again, we're working on translation, so we've got to be a little careful. But it seems like if your opponent would have taken out your last security, then you still, even if they've taken out more than 1, you then get to put 1 right back, which is quite lovely. Okay, you can't evolve it or you lose a skill, but this seems kind of worth it. But again, if you evolve it, you lose a skill, and if you don't evolve it, it's a 2,000 power creature. And finally, Tailone, unique in this promo pack for being a level 4 rather than a level 3 like the rest. It is a 4 cost normally, 4,000 power, so the power to cost ratio is much better than the others, but you do have to pay to evolve it. It is a 2 cost to evolve, but you're going from 3 to 4 rather than 2 to 3. And it has a skill whereby if your security is 3 or greater, this Digimon gains 1,000 power. Nice. So it's actually, until you get down to 1 or 2 remaining in terms of security cards, you gain up to 5,000 power. You go from 4 to 5. That makes it pretty powerful. Again, like we said at the beginning, we don't have complete information here. A lot of this is just spitballing. We don't know if these cards are actually going to be in the main set with alternate art. I doubt it, to be honest with you, but I don't really know. But these seem quite good. Usually these promo packs in other games seem to be pretty bad, but these seem pretty gosh darn good. I'm excited. I also need to try and find a way to get this promo pack without buying like a £60-70 toy. If anyone's got ideas, let me know, would ya? But for now, I want to know what you think about these. I want to know which one's your favourite, other than the Agyeman, the artwork of which is phenomenal. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other games. And do please make sure you're checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can, well, support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all that fun thing. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.